When a shelter puppy was thrown into the same cage as a cheetah, the atmosphere became tense. The two animals stared at each other for a moment, and then something few would endure happened. This story took place on July 16, 2015, when Kago, a shelter puppy, embarked on a journey with a single purpose: to be thrown into a cheetah's cage. Traveling from Alabama to Virginia, his destination awaited him at the Metro Richmond Zoo. Upon arriving at the zoo, Kago found himself immersed in a completely new environment, surrounded by a diversity of animals and visitors. Everything around him seemed strange and unfamiliar, leaving him fearful and insecure. Guided by the zoo staff, he was directed to a special area that would soon become his new home. Little did Kago know, he was about to encounter a cheetah. At that moment, she was not yet big and scary, but still a wild animal. When Kumba came into the world on May 12, 2015, her parents Carrie and Atari, along with the Metro Richmond zookeepers, overflowed with joy. However, this happiness quickly turned into concern when they realized that Kumba, the smallest of the litter, was not developing as expected. At just 2 weeks old, his struggle for survival became evident. Despite his mother's efforts to care for him, he wasn't gaining weight like his siblings. The keepers closely observed, monitoring his feeding and behavior patterns, but what they discovered was disheartening. Kumba seemed weak and lethargic, unable to keep up with his siblings during meals. His siblings bullied him, pushing him out of the way and making feeding a difficult task for him. During a routine examination, veterinarians discovered that Mother Carrie was not producing enough milk for all her cubs, resulting in fierce competition for food among them. It wasn't a matter of malice, the cubs were simply following natural instincts where only the strongest survive. Unfortunately, Kumba lacked the strength to compete with his siblings, and the keepers recognized the urgency of intervening to ensure his survival. With great sorrow, they made the difficult decision to separate him from his mother and siblings, knowing it was crucial for his well-being. The fragile cub was transferred to intensive care, where the team could closely monitor his progress and provide the specialized care needed. The following days were marked by uncertainty and worry. The caretakers tirelessly dedicated themselves, feeding him with a bottle at regular intervals and keeping a constant watch over his delicate health. They adjusted his diet, tried various feeding techniques, and administered medications to treat any underlying health issues. While the young cheetah fought for his life, the keepers clung to hope, refusing to give up on him. Weeks passed until Kumba began to show signs of recovery. His appetite returned, and his movements improved significantly, revealing a playful side that charmed everyone. The young cheetah began to show interest in his surroundings and started playing with the zoo staff, who had become a second family to him. Even though he was still very young, he impressed everyone with his incredible speed. In his moments of calm, he acted similarly to a domestic cat, finding comfort in the arms of his caretakers and purring loudly to express his happiness. As Kumba continued on his path to recovery, the zookeepers faced a dilemma. Although he was progressing and mainly eating meat, reintegrating him into his cheetah family was not a viable option. Aware of the sensitive and fearful nature of these animals, they knew that any sudden change in his environment could cause stress and disruption, what could be fatal for the cub, so the team opted to postpone the reintroduction, prioritizing Kumba's and his family's well-being. Despite the solitary and anxious nature of cheetahs, males of this species are by nature social animals. In the wild, they often form coalitions with other males, and that's exactly what Kumba's brothers had been doing in their family enclosure. However, Kumba was completely alone in the world, deprived of the possibility of reintegrating into his family. The team recognized the need to find him a companion. They were determined to preserve Kumba's wild essence. If he continued to interact excessively with humans, he would inevitably lose all his predatory instincts and become overly dependent on human caregivers. They needed to think of a solution quickly. During discussions between the Metro Richmond Zoo team and professionals from San Diego Zoo, information about another solitary cheetah cub, very similar to Kumba, emerged. Coincidentally, This cub was born around the same time as another zoo resident, a playful dog with a loving personality. While the cheetah cub was reserved, the dog was adventurous and enjoyed human company. During breaks between tasks, the San Diego Zoo team joked that the dog would be the perfect mentor for the cheetah if they could share the same space without conflicts. Then someone asked a powerful question: what if they became friends? They were the same age, and the cheetah had no predatory instincts. With this idea in mind, the team decided to explore an unconventional path by pairing the cheetah with the dog. The idea stemmed from the understanding that cheetahs, despite their fierce reputation, are naturally sociable animals. Recognizing the need for companionship for the cub, the San Diego Zoo caregivers sought a solution that would offer comfort and reduce the stress of loneliness. When this proved beneficial for both animals, global attention turned to this solution. Over the years, this practice became widely known and accepted as a means of improving the well-being of cheetahs in captivity. The benefits were not limited to companionship. Dogs played a crucial role in alleviating the natural anxiety of cheetahs, promoting a sense of security that helped them thrive in a captive environment. The success of the San Diego story resonated throughout the zoo community as news spread. Other zoos recognized the potential of this practice and embraced the concept of pairing cheetahs with dogs. The practice was not without its challenges, and each zoo adapted the concept to the specific needs of its animals. Collaboration between zoos allowed for the exchange of insights, experiences, and best practices, creating a support network for the continued success of this new technique. Based on the San Diego experiment, it was found that dogs exerted a calming influence on wild cheetahs. In most cases, the cheetah followed the behavioral cues of the dog, learning not to fear their environment but to embrace it with confidence. Over time, the dog usually became the dominant figure in the relationship, acting as a protector and leader. While cheetahs, despite being natural predators, did not show aggressive behavior towards the dog, they found comfort in their gentle company. The Metro Richmond zookeeper team, aware of the success stories of other zoo institutions, sought to apply this knowledge in their own environment. However, they faced a significant obstacle: they did not have a suitable dog available to pair with the cheetah. Thus, they began searching for a shelter dog, one seeking a second chance for a happy life. They were determined to make this connection meaningful for both Kumba and his new canine companion. However, they knew the task wouldn't be easy, as they had specific criteria in mind for the ideal dog. They needed to find a puppy with a calm yet playful personality, someone who could keep up with the energetic cheetah while providing a reassuring presence. The challenge was to find the right balance in a dog that could adapt to the unique needs of the cheetah. With this in mind, the keepers began searching local shelters, explaining their vision for Kumba's future companion. The search was delicate and required patience, but the team was determined to find the perfect dog that would fit seamlessly into the role. Some places hesitated, unsure about the peculiar combination of a cheetah and a dog. However, others saw the potential for a unique friendship and were eager to contribute. Finally, a breakthrough came when they received a call from Art of Paws, a rescue organization recognized for its dedication to helping animals in need. The organization presented a 10-week-old puppy named Kago. Kago was on the euthanasia list, but Art of Paws intervened to give him a chance at a brighter future. Kago had been rescued from an overcrowded shelter. When the keepers saw photos and a video of Kago, they felt an immediate connection with the adorable puppy. He was calm yet playful, seeming to be the perfect match for Kumba. Generously, Art of Paws offered to donate Kago to the zoo, and the decision was made. Kago would be Kumba's new companion. Kago embarked on the journey from Alabama to Virginia, bringing with him the promise of companionship for the young cheetah. As soon as he arrived, the zoo team instantly fell in love with the puppy. His wagging tail and curious eyes melted their hearts. However, amidst the human applause, the real test awaited them. The young cheetah would have the final say in this tale of friendship. When the puppy entered the cheetah's enclosure, the atmosphere instantly changed. the young predator turned to the dog with a mixture of curiosity and caution. Aware of the new presence in his space, a collective silence of anticipation took hold of everyone present as they eagerly watched the unfolding of this decisive scene. Kumba approached the new intruder with cautious steps. The air was tense as the two animals faced each other for the first time. The cheetah sniffed the air, taking in the unfamiliar scent of his new canine companion. The team watched anxiously, their hearts pounding. To everyone's relief and immense joy, Kago seemed to embrace the cheetah's presence. The tension dissipated as Kumba showed signs of curiosity and affection towards the playful puppy. In just a few hours, the dynamic between Kumba and Kago transformed, revealing the first signs of a promising friendship. What started as a cautious encounter blossomed into a genuine friendship. The duo, with their shared enthusiasm for exploration and fun, quickly became friends, and the zoo team celebrated this exciting union. Kumba with his elegant spots and Kago with his furry coat seemed not to notice or care about their differences. Now, the pair could be seen everywhere together. The once anxious cheetah had found a companion who brought laughter to his life. The zoo team marveled at the transformation, realizing that sometimes the most unexpected friendships are the ones that bring the greatest joy. As Kumba and Kago grew up together, their bond deepened even further. The friendship between Kumba and Kago became an exciting attraction at the Metro Richmond Zoo. Families and children gathered to witness the extraordinary bond between a cheetah and a rescued dog. Currently, the Metro Richmond Zoo plans to use Kumba as a living example of the importance of conservation efforts for endangered species. Meanwhile, Kago will enjoy the rest of his days as a beloved mascot. The two best friends will remain together, never to be separated, and will continue to be on display at the zoo for as long as life allows. And if you enjoyed this story, leave a like, subscribe to our channel, share, and don't miss the next video. Click on the video appearing on your screen right now. Great emotions come with great stories. Until next time. God bless.